Good morning, how you guys doing? This is Mike, back with the thought of the day on February 27th, 2023. First, I want to give honor and praise to the Elohim of Israel for waking me up today and waking you guys up today. Let's make this a very productive day as we go out and do his bidding. What I want to talk about today is how if you insist got me in a lot of trouble. What is if you insist? See, this guy at my job had told about this concept over a month ago, and it really made sense to me. And then I started thinking back on my life, and I was like, wow, this is definitely true. You see, God, the Most High, answers us in 4 ways. Yes, no, not right now, and if you insist. And it's the if you insist that got me in the most trouble in my life. Because if you insist is basically, he's telling you, I don't think this is going to be a good idea, but if you insist, go ahead. And that hit my life in so many different ways, in relationships and different things of that nature. One particular way it hit my life was my need to go party, especially on a foreign island. And I'm going to take you on a little journey where once if you insist came into my life, it took over. Back in the early 2000s, before it was anything such as passport bros and this and that, I had heard about this island to go party on and have fun and do the things that, you know what I'm saying, I love to do. Party and, you know, things of that nature. It was a month before I was supposed to go to this place, and I was playing basketball at my school. I was a teacher in Red Bank at the time, and I was playing basketball with some of the kids, and I blew my knee out. I had a ruptured patella tendon. And I remember going to the hospital that night to get the x-rays, and I had to meet the orthopedic the next day. And when the orthopedic came in, instead of me listening to what he wanted to tell me about my knee, my only concern was I going to be able to go on this trip? Not knowing at the time that the Most High was letting me basically know, you don't need to be going over here and see what's going on at this spot, because it ain't going to be good for you. Now, I bypassed that and figure out a way that I could still get to this place. So I go on the trip with a couple of my friends and take a crutch over there with me. So I'm fresh off surgery, probably a month in. I go over there and I get to this place and discover the party life and things of that nature. And I immediately get addicted to this lifestyle. Now, while I'm constantly going over there year after year, I notice that a lot of things are starting to happen in my consciousness, and my spirit is telling me that if you keep doing this, something more is going to happen to you. I keep seeing little signs of things going different in my life, but my flesh wanted what my flesh wanted. And I remember being over there at times at night, and then once we left the clubs and came back to the villas, I used to go and sit by the pool and ask myself, like, what are you doing with yourself? You know, eventually this is going to come to head. But I still kept going. And this one particular time, I was on a plane, and I was on my way over there, and I kept saying, like, yo, something is going to happen. This was the second month we had went back to back. I think we had went in June, and then we had went in July. This might have been around 07 or something like that. And on the July trip, a lot of crazy things were happening when we were there. And then on that July trip, I broke my leg over in this place. I had to get went to the hospital, told them to put a light cast on it just so I could make it back to America, and then I could get my surgery done and all of that kind of stuff in America. I didn't want them to do it over there. So I told myself when I got back, like, all right, it's enough. But me being hard-headed and if you insist again, I go back after my leg kill. I go back 08 or 09. I think it might have been the summer of 09. I went, go over there, come back. 2 months later, the worst tragedy of my life hits. Now, and I'm not saying that that tragedy was a direct result of what I was doing, because those that did the tragedy was charged with the tragedy. But that's where my life is heading, in that direction. So then, after the tragedy hits, everybody know I go into the deep alcoholism. I go through all of those stages, and I waited 10 years. I'm still with the alcoholism, and it might have been October 2019, and I decide, yo, it's been over 10 years. Let me take a trip again. In October 2018, I went over, and a few months later, I hit my bottom with alcoholism. And once I hit my bottom, I went to the Most High and surrendered with everything. And now looking back at it, all I had to do was listen when he told me, I don't think you need to be going over here and seeing this. And and have my leg being ruptured before I was to even get on the plane the first time. But me always thinking, wanting to do what I want to do, and him saying, if you insist, go ahead, but I told you not to do this. And let's think back in our lives and think about times where he gave us a sign that this might be not in our best interest, but we still wanted to do it anyway. And sometimes he'll just move out the way and say, if you insist. He won't block it totally with a no, but he'll move out the way and say, if you insist. And it's always the if you insist that gets me in a lot of trouble. I learned my lesson. I try to stay away from if you insist. Enjoy your day. This is Brother Mike. Shalom.